My name is Brian Quaka, Pigman. I've been doing outdoor television for almost 10 years, but I've been hunting in Mexico a lot longer than that. I do, I guess I kill stuff for a living, but I have a good time. But Mexico has always been one of my favorite destinations. I'm primarily a bow hunter, but I hunt with various weapons, rifles, handguns, but the archery is my favorite. Unless you've been to somewhere like Africa, it's really hard to explain why I like Mexico much more than I do even hunting in South Texas, just as 15 miles from here, right across the border. The culture is totally different. The people are great, and the animals are still, they're still wild. They don't see a lot of vehicle traffic. They don't have a lot of hunting pressure, so you can actually have that experience. It's a lot more real. I just brought some guys over from Oklahoma with me, and I told them, you've never seen anything like this. All three of those guys, before they left, said, we don't want to hunt nowhere else but Mexico. This is the best hunt we've ever had. So to be able to actually hunt an animal, there are some high fence hunting areas, but primarily this particular area, Tamaulipas, is all low fence. And we know a lot of the landowners, the guys that own the ranches. They're always really good to us, and the hunting here is second to none. The three primary animals I would say that the draw for me personally as a professional hunter, this is what I do. I make television for a living, is the white-tailed deer here in Tamaulipas, the wild feral hogs, and one of my favorites, the javelina. That is one of the greatest trophies somebody could ever shoot with a bow and arrow, is a javelina. A lot of people don't think so, but when you start hunting them and you figure out how to do it, you can't have any more fun anywhere else with your clothes on. I would say it like this. This is the big hiccup. This is the misconception that people have, that it's difficult to get a firearm across the border and to come into Mexico. So the border crossing in this area, there's several ways you can get here, but it's no problem at all. What you have is you have guys like Jose that is from this area in Tamaulipas, and they make sure that all the permits are done, and it's no problem at all. You're not gonna hunt in Texas and just drive over here and say, hey, I'd like to come over there hunting. You have to have the proper paperwork. But let me tell you something. No matter where I've been, Africa, Argentina, New Zealand, no matter where you go, you have to have the proper paperwork. You don't just roll into the country. So I would say it like this. It's easier to get firearms into Mexico than any other country I've ever been. So this myth, this misconception that there's this big issue with firearms coming into Mexico does not exist. I've never had a problem one time in 12 years of coming here. Not one time, ever. So what we do is speaking for myself and Keith, we lease a piece of property from a ranch owner, and they make sure that the house, everything's working at the house, the electricity, whether that be ran from the power company or a generator, or you have water for hot water for showers and that sort of thing. They're always really, really good to us. They come by, they need some deer meat, we give them some deer meat. Everybody's always been really good to us. We've drove around here, we've been in town, we've been out on the ranches. We have never had an issue ever, one time. So this area of Mexico and Tamaulipas has so many different options. And what we haven't touched on is the fishing. So we've always came down and hunted. But in the last several years, Keith has figured out that the bass fishing is great. Now, when I say we're crossing the border, we're actually crossing the dam of Lake Falcon, one of the best big bass lakes in America and in Mexico. But you have all these other lakes in Mexico that are some of the best bass fishing. Keith actually has a boat that he leaves right here in Guerrero. So nobody's invited me yet, but I'm ready to go, and I'm gonna tell you another one. You don't have to go to Argentina for the best white-winged dove hunting you've ever seen. Better food, better people, and shoot all the birds you want in a day. But my favorite, hands down, is the white-tailed deer, and that's everybody else's from America. Misconception is this: you can come to Mexico and shoot a bigger deer for the same price. Our trophy deer are less expensive in Mexico. That's not necessarily the case. The Mexico deer are totally unique. Dark body, their hide, horns, there's big chocolate horns. When you see a true, mature Mexico trophy buck, you will get buck fever. I've been hunting since I was 5. I'm 45, 40 years. And this is one of the only places where I still get a little nervous because you never know what's gonna walk in.
Tam Hunting and Fishing. We are